And welcome back to another show. We're your hosts, Carlos Tacos. We got Miss Patty, we got Mary, we got Gavin in the house. What's up, everybody? We're talking about love tonight. So take it away, Miss Patty.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Thank you for everyone that's joining us, that's watching, for anyone else that's going to join us tonight. We have decided that there's so much hate in this world that we're going to talk about love. Because we could use a little bit more of it. Everyone can, the world can, the universe can. So, and it's very complex. It's a complex topic, but that's what we're going to talk about tonight with our love experts here in the Look,
I've been with a group of big hearts here, so
heartbroken.
Yeah.
Share knowledge and answer questions and just uplift each other and love on each other. So we're going to talk about what is love, conditional love, unconditional love, what is not love. Oh, Miss Leslie.
I'll send it to her. I'll send it to you, Leslie.
Send it to her.
Yes. Miss Leslie is a mental health professional expert, and she can drop all kinds of knowledge for us on love.
And not only that, she is the most lovable person you'll ever meet.
Aww.
I just love her so much.
Mm-hmm. Not, we're going to talk about, what is not love? We'll tell you what is not love, okay? So don't fall for the tricks. Love experiences, love languages, heartbreaks, overcoming, and then we're going to close it with self-love. Mary.
Miss Leslie, I sent it to you via Facebook Messenger.
All right.
Sweet. So let's talk about it. What is love? Does anyone want to share what love is for them?
No.
Okay, first? I got this.
Anybody want to go first?
Beautiful thing. Go ahead, Gavin.
I'll go. Love is unconditional. Love is strong. Love is passion. There is so much love to give and to take, but you have to also learn to love yourself. And there's different types of love, because there is love of God, there's love of self, there's love of a partner.
Tacos.
I love
tacos.
Dang, she beat me to the punchline.
But the most important love that we really need in our community is love of humanity. That is really important, because if we don't have love of humanity, we can't really. How can we love ourselves if we don't love humanity? Because at the end of the day, we are all human, and technically, we are all family.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Right.
I love it. Yes. Love is universal. Love is pain. Love is forgiveness. Love can be traumatic, but it can be a beautiful thing. Love is growth. Love is empathy. All of that. Thank you, Gavin. So there's conditional and unconditional love. Go ahead, Mary. You got a thought?
Yeah, I do. I was having a nice conversation with my love about love and what is the most important kind of love. And Leslie, you don't need to do the link. You just need to open it up in Google.
Google Chrome.
Google Chrome. Anyways, I was talking to my love, and we were talking about the most important kind of love. And the most important kind of love I and he thinks is to love people even when we don't have the same ideas. That it's important to love the way people are for who they are. and that can be very different than me. It could be very
Mhm.
different than Patty.
Mm.
I don't know if it would be very different than Gavin because he's just so stinking lovable. Sorry, I'm on a kick with Gavin tonight. He's I'm digging that he's laughing so hard tonight, so I might be teasing him a little bit. But if he tells me, you know, TT stop, I'll stop.
Just press the red button, Gavin.
I do. Just push the red button, gong me right out of here. And then
The Gong Show.
obviously Carlos loves very differently too. Carlos actually he's very inspiring the way that he loves. He has One Love Ministries where he goes out and he spreads the word of God, but the way he does it is through love, which is what attracted me to be his friend, because I just love people. I mean, I love all people. I love people that I mean, you know me. Some of you know me.
Yeah. Yeah. You love community. Well, we all love
I do. I love community. I even love the people that are grouchy. I do.
Right?
The grouchier they are, the more hugs they need.
Oh, there are definitely grouchy people in this world.
Right.
And this is why we gotta love on our kids, love on our children.
Oh, and teach our kids how to love, but how to love with boundaries.
Ooh.
Oh.
Miss Leslie.
Hey, hey.
Hey, how are you? I'm signing off from this one so I don't have two things going at the same time.
Perfect.
Okay, I was on my phone. All
Thank
right,
you
so I heard what Gavin said.
With your presence.
Okay.
So we're talking about love tonight, Leslie.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
And Gavin gave a big, long, beautiful thing about
I
what
heard
love
him.
means, which I love to hear what youth love is, because it really hits home. I used to be young once.
And for folks that don't know, Miss Leslie, she has been on our show before. She's a big community advocate. She's a mother, a grandmother, auntie, community
grandmother.
There, y'all.
Wow.
She is going to drop some knowledge on us tonight as well. Miss Leslie, if you'd like to do a little small introduction on your background on love and what you can tell us tonight.
My background on love, I have loved, been loved, thought it was love. I have been married 3 times. My husband's passed. They did not get murdered. Health. One was in a bad, horrific accident out here in Antioch. So I look at love, and I love to hear young people on here, because I work with, as a mental health therapist here in Antioch, I work with a lot of young people. Most of them have been victims of sexual assault or sex trafficking. But once while working through that trauma, we get to discuss about what love is versus like a lot, love is versus intimacy. And it's really good. I love what I do working with the youth. Most of my clients are young. So I think that as a young person, Devin, and this is a message that I would ask you to carry with you to any youth groups, organizations, or individual friends. When they're talking about love, first of all, you have to be in love with yourself. And this is for adults too. You can't love anyone else if you're not in love with yourself. That's the first. We fall in love with the higher being. The next person is we have to fall in love with ourselves. All the biases, all the things we've been told, oh, you would be okay if you were just not this, or you know, even from our own parents and grandparents and uncles and aunts, they're trying to correct us, but sometimes they traumatize us and make us feel less than. So we don't really love ourselves. So you have to learn who you are, who you really are, besides what people tell you. Oh, you're this person. You don't know. You need to learn who you really are. Embrace that person that's in you with all whatever you think you have flaws or whatever. You don't care about that. You need to fall in love with you. Once you fall in love with you, it sets the standards higher.
Yes,
You
that's
know what
beautiful.
I'm saying? So someone,
Absolutely.
yeah, someone coming to you with stuff, you know, you're like, my standards are here. You don't have to say it. You can carry yourself. Your back straightens up, your head straightens up, your everything straightens up because you love you. And
Right.
so, in order for
Right.
anyone to love anyone else in this community, no matter what color you are, race, culture, creed, whatever, you must love yourself in order to, and then you exude love to others. But then you
Right.
also, we'll get further in the conversation, need to know the difference between love and infatuation, and I really like you a lot, and sex.
Mm.
No,
Because
it's
there's a
it's
difference
so
between
different.
all of them.
Yeah.
We got 5 kids, Miss Leslie, and I have that conversation a lot, especially with my grown daughter. Not that she's got bad choices, but sometimes she'll call me up and she'll go, Mom, I like this guy. And I'm like, okay. And she starts telling me about him and she'll be like, but this is weird and this is weird and this is weird. And I'm like, well, are those things weird or are those things red flags?
Mm.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Hi, Frank.
Yes.
We have,
Yes.
That weird is another word for red.
we have a
Weird is another word for what?
Have you ever heard, have you guys, I'm sure you have, but have you ever heard of the chakras?
yeah,
Yes.
I
absolutely.
print out the chakra sheet and
Mm-hmm.
one of my clients, even the youngest one is 5 years old. We sit there, we do that, and the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I have them both. So all of my clients get those 2 forms. And we go through those forms. And I print out an extra one for them, and I instruct their parents if they're younger to put it on their wall. So when they get out of their bed, they look right at it every morning. And I said, so when they go to sleep, they're looking right at that when they get ready to get in the bed.
Yeah.
And I said, I asked the parents go through it, but before at the beginning of each session, I go through the thing with them, and I say to them, tell me where you felt love this past week. And they're able to tell me where they felt it and all that. Tell me where you were able to feel hurt this week. And they tell me, I said, describe what it was. My 5-year-old that I've been seeing for 4 months can describe, just like we're talking right now, exactly what he felt and everything and how it made him feel. And then when he talks about love, how he does it. You have to teach this at a young age because
that is so fantastic.
Together.
That's what I want to do.
You can't.
I want to do that for me too.
Yeah.
Do you have them
You
journal
really need
it?
to
How
look
do you
it up.
have them do that?
They have little journals, and the little one, he doesn't write. I mean, he writes, but not, he's not going to remember. But his sister, and this is how she's 8. She said, I had my mother buy me one of those books, with the key on it. I said, diary. She said, yeah. And I write in it. And so she's going to bring it next week so she can write her thoughts and stuff when she says she feels something. And we do exercises, which is fun. And they're like, I feel it here. And she was telling me today. And then we were doing stuff to calm her. And then we do our therapy and stuff because I want them to be so calm with me until they understand everything I say. And I'm going to tell you, from ages 5 through 60, especially my kids, they can come in and teach me about it. And they can talk about love.
Absolutely.
If I want to throw in for our community, Miss Leslie mentioned chakras. And for folks, you mentioned chakras, right, Miss Leslie?
Yeah.
Chakras. Okay. So folks that don't know, energies, like we are energy, our being, our what's inside of us, we were created by it. So FYI, there's hella chakras, but there's 7 main ones. So you're looking at the crown, the mind, our third eye. We have our throat.
The third eye.
Yep. Throat. Referencing the
sacral
heart.
chakra.
The sacral chakra, solar chakra, root chakra. So there's more, but those are the main ones, the 7 ones. So if y'all can just do some research, look into it. There's vibrational healings. There's different cultures that understand and meditate and do all of these things. So if our chakras are aligned, then we are at peace. But if something's off, our chakra may our way of thinking, maybe we're not thinking clearly, we're not speaking clearly, or we just feel physically sick. Or so yes, definitely being in tune with chakras. There's many ways to do that, but learning is one of them. So thank you for raising that, Miss Leslie. And we have Frank on the show tonight also, y'all. Frank, Free Will and Frank, amazing community advocate. Thank you for joining us, Frank. Would you like to give us a little spiel? We're talking about what is love, conditional, what is not love, love languages, love experiences, heartbreaks, all of it. So thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad I could join. And I did throw out the invite to some other folks, see if they will join. Oh, sorry, my phone is on in the background. And I'll tell you one thing that was pretty cool about love. I don't know if you guys heard about the kid next, Benedict. Anybody know his their story?
They
Yeah,
are the ones
he was,
that killed themselves.
yeah, well, it's still a gray area now. People are wondering if it was a suicide or if it was actually something that happened during the beating because of something that it's a gray area.
Right.
So some people are withholding judgment,
So
but
okay.
Rainbow Community Center last night in Concord had an honoring of Nex's life. I think he was either in early high school. They were in early high school years. Kind of a non-binary kid, couldn't just kind of, just looking,
just themselves.
Just themselves, and preferred to use the girls' bathroom and got attacked in there and basically got knocked unconscious, went to the hospital and sent home. The next day, they kind of locked up, and what some say is a sign of brain trauma. But anyways, they went to the hospital. They said that there was certain medications in their system that they may have OD'd. Anyways, the love part I'm trying to get to was that Rainbow Community Center honored Nex's life last night in Todos Santos Plaza. And it was a beautiful event, and the community really came out for Nex. And for me, it just felt like the love was in the air. They all talked about supporting each other, embracing our community and our non-binary LGBTQIA plus. I heard a lot of different variations on that, but that's the one I use. And it was great. So the love was in the air last night, and I did record it, and I'm going to post it on First Voice Media probably tomorrow. It's getting late again.
Let me know when you do, and I'll share it with our audience too.
Definitely. And 2 of the Concord City Council members came out, Laura Nakamura, who I'm familiar with, and I'm blanking on the other woman's name, but she's the vice mayor. And so my apologies. I'm just not that familiar with Concord politics.
Concord has some really good events. I was at Concord one time when they were doing a concert, and part of the concert they did a parade for the same-sex marriages. And that was pretty intense, especially since my kids were there and they were like, oh, what's going on? And what's going on? It was a beautiful learning experience to be able to sit down and talk. They have other events there that are also very fun to go to. Like they had Praise in the Park for years and years, which my friend Daryl was the ringleader. I guess that's what it's called. I don't know. But he would bring in bands, and that was a real pretty event too. It was really funny though, because they had this bouncy house, but it was a wrecking ball. Like you could sit on it and swing and pretend you were Miley Cyrus.
Right.
Love that song. I wish I could sing like that.
Yeah, my kids had so much fun. But Concord has lots of fun events. I hope that Antioch will be able to do that, because
has Antioch ever done anything like that? Like a love parade, love for everybody, love. We haven't, huh?
Mm-mm.
There's a 4th of July parade.
No, too much evil.
There is a 4th of July parade.
I could add that my headphones are kind of going in and out, but I'm sure you guys can hear me. I don't know if anybody went to May We Gather on the weekend. Did anybody see that last weekend? And basically, if you all
I didn't
remember,
go.
Mayor Hernandez Thorpe, a couple of years ago, I think it was 2021 during the pandemic, was the first city in the United States to apologize for what happened to Asian American community in our city. So basically, the residents of Antioch burned down the like the Chinatown, the Asian town, and destroyed their temples. Basically, they had a temple down by the Campanile Theater before the Campanile and all that was there. And they burned them out of town and ran everybody out of town, the Asian folks. And so Mayor Thorpe was the first one to apologize during the kind of during the height of the pandemic when the Asian American hate was on the rise. And there was an actual story about one man, his last name was Chan. That's what I could remember of the story. They came down and were trying to get towards Sacramento, San Joaquin a little further, over the bridge and out that way, coming down from the Bay Area. And they stopped in Antioch and no one would serve them food or talk to them. And so they took off and, kind of humiliated. And the mayor
How long
actually,
ago was that?
that was in 18 something, or not
Okay.
18 something, but whatever it was, there was a man still alive. And he apologized to that man at one of the ceremonies. Mayor Thorpe did. And only a few months later, the man actually passed away. And his son also was there. Anyway, so May We Gather was like a Tibetan ceremony and other Asian religions that they did like a bell ringing ceremony. Everyone gathered at the Campanile and they shared stories and histories. And then they walked like ceremonially, like slow, intentional walking down the Waldy Plaza. And Monica read the proclamation that they read at that time because the mayor was out of town.
Man, I
And
really feel bad we missed that. That would have been a really beautiful event to go to.
Yeah, and they did this special ceremony where they ring the bells, and then the Quinto family they invited the Quinto family to place they call it a flower honoring. They put flowers on the altar, and then everybody walked to the I don't know if people know where the old potato barge is, and that monument that marks the settler colonialist week. This is where we discovered
Got all the cat houses next to it.
Yeah, it's downtown, like right by the senior center, down that little hill right by the river.
Like
there's a monument there, and it depicts the people that founded Antioch and discovered it. And they lined up, and the monks and the folks gave out these different colored cloths, and they put a rope around the monument, and then they placed all the different silky cloths of multicolors around the monument. And then they gave a speech about that. This was like Eurocentric, one person's ideal of a settling of an area, when the Asian culture, the African-American culture, all these other cultures, which were represented by the colors they placed on there, contributed to the founding of the city. And then they did a prayer there. Then they went to the senior center and had a meal. It was like noon to 5. Yeah.
Nice.
And
I would love to go see that.
A great write-up in the Times. I'll put it in the chat where people can see it, or I'll send it to the host that can post it online.
If there's a link, the chat won't let you do it, so you'll have to send it to one of us.
Okay.
Probably Carlos.
I see a couple links.
Okay, because I put it in.
Yeah.
I see some links in there.
But that's the private chat.
The links in there.
Okay.
Then you
But
can
if you do it in the comments,
Where
it
Frank
will
was-
blur it out.
Okay, so I'll put it in the private, and then you could send it on Mary or Carlos from there. You can
Let's see if it works this way. Hold on.
And anyways, and that was it. They kind of did this. I did videotape a lot of it, and they recorded it and streamed it. So I'll be sharing that shortly. Anyways, that was a big thing about loving and healing, not just forgiveness, but remembering what happened to the community back then. It was very well attended. It was very well organized. It was very intentional, as they said, and prayerful. And it was beautiful. And I'm glad I ended up going. And yeah, I'm be glad to share the videos shortly.
Yeah, I would love. I'm ready to look at them.
Yeah, history matters so much. Which reminds me of conditional and unconditional love.
Okay.
I'm just thinking
I'm
about
going. This is
in the past. There was like, what is love? Like, who determines what love is? What conditions are there? In the military, there was a thing where if you were gay or trans or anything, the rule was don't ask, don't tell. And so people had to be in private, and that's it. But they overcame that recently, and we get these classes, or we did, about awareness. Mary, you have your finger up.
No, you keep telling. I'm good. I'm just putting my finger up so that when you're done, I can tell you what I found out about that in the Army from
Okay.
Joey.
Okay. Well, I remember I had a friend in an old unit, and I saw him flourish. Like, he could publicly marry his husband.
it's kind of go ahead.
And so they did
It
away
was
with
kind of
was it cutting up? Oh, well, anyway, so they did away with the don't ask, don't tell. It's okay. You can be gay and you can get married, and it's okay. So I'm so happy that the military overcame that, because people should love and be free and be who they want without restrictions and things like that. So, Mary, you had a thought?
So my son, who is currently in the military, told me that his friend is transitioning.
Okay.
And the military is paying for it because he's doing it while he's in the military.
That's okay. There's women that get BBLs in the military.
I know, but check that out. Do you think that would have happened under Bush?
I don't probably.
No.
Right? Dang. When did that start? Because I heard about that.
I do not know. Hi, Bradley boy.
Hey, Sean.
But
Is
yeah,
that Sean?
Yeah.
Oh, even better. I love Sean.
Yeah. Speaking of love, we love you, Sean.
I want to just share something about Sean. Is that okay with you, Sean? It's going to be sweet, I promise.
Lost you, Miss Mary. Welcome, Miss Leslie. Come back when you can.
She's back.
Okay. All right, Mary.
Okay, so I'm going to go with that's okay that I can share something about him. But I met him at the Tenson Tacos 2 years ago. And he was so incredibly sweet. He needed to make sure that his stepfather got tacos.
Yeah.
And I was like in tears. I was like, because you know what? I'm a step parent, and step parent love is so hard to earn sometimes. And to see a grown man love his stepfather and like make sure that he got the best tacos.
Right.
Just like really warmed my heart. And I love to see just like random acts of kindness and love like that. And Sean is my my stepfather, hoping that my child will love me like that, you know, when she's in her 30s.
Which is another thing I'd like to point out. Love is an action word.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just something you say, you know. And the best example for that, you know, was when Jesus Christ not only told us he loved us, but he died on the cross because he loved us.
Right.
So, you know, that was the big one.
Gavin, I see your hand up. That's beautiful. Yes, God, love is action. I agree. And think
I'm gonna get a little bit religious and spiritual for a minute. Okay. So when we talk about love, and we definitely talk about like Christianity love, when it comes to that, you just because you're that's because of religion love. Just because you're one religion doesn't mean you can't love and respect someone that's from a different religion from you. You're supposed to love thou neighbor as you love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that part of the Bible is so true, and we need to really focus on that rather than, you know, bickering back and forth because this person has a different political view. It falls all the way into politics even. Just because someone votes a different party than you, that doesn't mean you can't love them any different. Your political views are different, but you can really love you can really love each other, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You can have that love and respect with each other, and even in families, the older generation loves younger generation supposed to love the older generation. That's where, you know, we're supposed to love each other. Right. And with that, where are we going to be in the next 20, 50 years from now if we don't love each other.
Ooh.
It's also
Right.
good to see how other people love,
Yes.
because you can mirror it. Like, I know my mom always laughs at me because we used to go to McDonald's, and we'd always get a McDonald's where there'd be like field trips with adult special needs people, and they would come and sit with me, and we would have a good time. And, and she's like, I just love that you do that. And I'm like, I didn't do that. They joined me. They blessed me with their presence. But the fact that they came and it was just like automatic love. Like, I was included, my mom was included. And it's just such a nice, warm feeling. You can learn from that. And ironically, that might be what I do now.
Okay.
Right.
I might have somebody come sit at my table.
And
Love
for those of you just tuning in, we're talking. The subject tonight is love. So, what does it mean to you? If you want to, be a part of this, go ahead and say something in the comments and share what you think what love is with you.
Miss Leslie, I see you. You have a thought?
Something that Devin, those last words that Devin said are about, it's okay to love someone else, different religion, but it was something you said with loving other people. It went right back to what I was saying. You have to love yourself. The reason why we see so much hatred, the reason why we see some of the worst and disparaging remarks and there's horrible things that people were writing in these blogs, the names they're calling, the accusations, and they keep doing the same accusation over and over, a month later, over a year later, over and over. There was a young man that was died. He comes up and down my street. They ride up and down my street all the time. And I'd be like, slow down, stop doing it. If I'm outside working my yard. And other times they just wreak havoc. On Sundays, they really wreaked havoc. And when he died yesterday.
On the dirt bike?
Here on 4th and
I'm so sorry.
Nell Street. We walked down there. We went right there, right by my house. I saw his body. There was a lot of people. They fly up and down our street all the time. And then somebody was like, that's what they get, play stupid games. That's what his mother came on there on one of the comments. She said, that is my son, my youngest of my 4 sons. And then I sent her a special message and, let her know I was so sorry for her and I was praying for her. But some of the ugly things that they put in these, I'm like, someone died.
That's why
where is your compassion?
There is none.
Bloggers have no compassion.
And it's like
they don't.
Right.
They have hands hiding in their hair.
You can look there. You can look in those comments. What you are seeing is people who do not love themselves. They literally hate themselves, and it spews out to other people. They hate themselves. And besides mentally ill, but if you hate yourself to that point, then you are mentally ill. You are mentally ill, and in all the other things that they blog, they respond to, is sick. I look at that stuff and I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's not enough therapists in this world to treat these people that are mentally ill. And it's scary that it's that many people. Right here in the city of Antioch, I'm like, oh my God.
So Carlos got a piece of me this morning and had to show me the love because I was hurting. I was talking about some of the things that I'm going through. And he was telling me some of the things he was going through. And there was a situation that he expressed to me, which I'm not going to go into detail, but I thought about it all day long. And all I can think is that person is hurting. And that person needs to forgive themselves for their transgressions and move along. Yeah. And because Carlos already healed from that. He's already got, forgiveness and forgiven himself. that to have something dug back up over and over again is just ridiculous. There's no reason for it except for, just like Leslie said, self-hate.
I'm gonna I see you, Gavin, you got your hand up, but I want to just real quick, projection. That's a term that I'm coming to terms with. When somebody has so much hate for themselves, they try to project it and shoot it off elsewhere. So be aware that if somebody's attacking you or hating on you, it's not you, it's them that didn't have that love, or they're feeling whatever hate in their heart. So never let that toxicity get into your soul.
Right.
Gavin.
I was just about to say almost the exact same thing. I was going to say that, you know, when you're in an aura, like energy, when someone sees your bright energy, your bright light, because you love yourself so much, people will downplay that. People get jealous of that because they don't love themselves as the way you love yourself.
Mhm.
They want to get to that, so they think that because I can hate on this person, it's just going to make me feel good, when it's actually not just damaging that person, but it's damaging yourself as well.
Right.
It's damaging yourself because
And you go
you are
deeper and
hurting someone
deeper.
else, and you're hurting your own self because you're hurting yourself even more deeper than you're hurting the other person, because you're hating yourself too.
Hmm.
And then the other thing I want to mention, God, Drizzy, yeah, that's my ride or die right there.
It was
I love,
beautiful.
That was good what he said.
yeah, that's my friend. I love him.
Well, why isn't the God Drizzy on here telling us about love?
That's a question I should ask
Right.
him if he wants to.
Right here.
I feel that the ultimate love is affection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know,
That's powerful.
it's not something you can plan. It's something that just happens too.
Mm.
Mhm.
Because I mean, you hear people say, well, you can't pick
I
your
want to
family,
share
but you can
something.
pick the
Go
people that
ahead.
are around you. Sometimes you just can't help that you
Sorry.
love somebody. Like when I met Warren, I loved him. I mean, I married him 4 months later, and I'm with him 19 years after that.
Yeah.
Love it.
It just was the right thing. His energy and my energy worked.
Mm. Chemistry and energies. Yes, Miss Leslie, I saw you had something. Saw you pull up some papers. You got something for us in a little bit.
Hey, yeah. Hey, sharing is caring.
We can talk about real quick what love is not. We talk about toxicity.
No.
Let's talk about what love is not. Insults. Love is not hateful. Love is not being a negative Nancy. Love is accepting. Love is not toxic and abusive. I'll tell you all.
Love is kind.
Love is kind.
Love is
Yeah.
trusting.
Love is
Yeah.
kind.
Trust
Yep.
me.
This is
There,
it. But let me tell
there
you
were
something. Love, you can't show it.
Love
You
is
can't
not
show it. Like
manipulative.
I went and got something because something that was just said today, and I went and because I printed this out for myself, you guys. I should have known. Maybe someone was telling me 3 weeks ago I was going to be in this show, but I didn't know. Maybe God was letting me know. But we're talking about loving, and one thing is, and I think it was Mary and Carlos talk about forgiving. This came to me on my daily devotions about 3 weeks ago. It said, today, Leslie, God wants you to know that it's timely. It is time to finally forgive yourself. You've carried the guilt, the shame for long enough. You kept your wounds open for long enough. The time has come to let go, to heal. Keep the lessons and let the pain heal. Yes, you know what we are talking about. That morning I woke up and I didn't see it till later on, but I was feeling some kind of way, my mind. And then I saw that and I was like, oh my God. If I didn't believe, which I do believe God was real, I believed he was real that morning. So
It's funny.
if you have your own healing, you don't feel good about yourself, and you don't love yourself, it's going to show in so many negative ways because each of us feel guilty. We haven't been able to forgive ourselves and to move on to be able to be the better person. and to spread the love that we all are capable of spreading. So I think that's the first thing. We need to find that healing of our own selves and know God. Somebody told me God forgave you a long time ago. And I say that to people now. God forgave you a long time ago. You just can't forgive yourself. You're the one holding back
So bad.
yourself back because
Yes.
you can't let go. You know, you're alive, you're eating, you have a roof over you, you're happy, you're sad, you're going through all the emotions every day, but you just can't forgive yourself. Try doing that first and then see how you feel when you go about each
Thank
day.
you for dropping that, Miss Leslie, because I'm on the
But love doesn't hurt anybody.
forgiving myself for dealing with some abusive situations for too damn long, but I am forgiving myself. So thank you for that.
Can we welcome Judy to the show and see
Yeah,
how she are you, we're pretty savvy on the pronouns now. Are you?
I don't use pronouns.
Okay,
Hey.
so Judy,
I could
I
tell
don't
us
relate
what
to
you feel
any
about
of them.
love.
Frank, why don't you introduce us?
Yeah, this is my friend Judy Gray Boys. I met at one of the teach-ins for the ceasefire on Gaza, and Judy has not a unique but a very interesting story. Well, it is unique, of course, Judy, but it's not solely her experience, because a lot of people have experienced this, not enough apparently. But I'll let Judy kind of tell you her story. Judy, we were just kind of talking about loving others that are not always like yourself. And Judy is a member of Jewish Voice for Peace and came out and spoke at one of the teach-ins and had a very interesting story. So Judy, the theme tonight is love and how love is powerful and can change the world. So, I invited Judy on because you all know where my mind is. I'm trying to bring the ceasefire and do what I can to love my Palestinian family and friends that I've met, many because of this attack on Gaza. So go ahead, Judy, and just kind of, share your thoughts on why it was important and how love affected, your transition in your life, being a Jewish person calling for a free Palestine.
Thanks. Well, I would say in my personal life, love is a verb. I mean, talk is cheap. You can say, I find now all these old letters from people I've been in romantic relations, talk is cheap, but how you treat people is really a reflection of love. And the same thing carries over into the political arena. Sometimes I think if everybody just loved each other, they wouldn't kill each other. I mean, I have this T-shirt that says "Repair the World," which in Hebrew, "Tikkun Olam," means to repair the world. So, I mean, somebody Jewish who knows that when they see it. But everybody says, "How do you do that?" When I wear it, said "Repair the World." How do you do that? I said, "Well, the first thing is you have to stop killing people." And if people are really, really, it sounds so cheap. Like if everybody did, I'm not cheap, but like, a cliche. Well, if everybody just loved each other, but if people really did love each other, you don't commit violence on somebody that you love. You don't kill somebody that you love. And, I think if people could really tap into their hearts and love their human beings on this planet, that it would really just cut down on the violence. We've been taught to hate each other and fear each other. And, we just really, if we really just focus on the love, it just wouldn't be some violence in the world.
Yeah. And acceptance is part of love.
Right.
Yeah. That's one of the things I like about Antioch is I know that we have a lot of dirty stuff going on right now, but the diversity here and the fact that I have friends here is amazing. I mean, I've lived in Concord my whole life, and it wasn't until I moved here at 40 years old that I made friends, and I made some real friends, like ones that, call, show up. And they're none of them are like me. They're just wonderful, different people.
Yeah, and that's accepting people as they are, as different as they may be, not be
Right.
supremacist to anybody else. Community, houseless community advocate Nicole Gardner in there mentioned just the hate that exists, and she put the homeless haters. There are people that hate communities because why?
Yeah.
Why? Like,
Like,
if we had more love, we could help. If more
yeah.
people did. But there are greedy people that see it as an investment, and maybe it's messing with their properties or property values, and they value profit over people, and that's wrong. I
Yeah.
have a thought, something that happened when I was downrange in the war. Let me share with y'all how love is so impactful at the most simplest gestures. We would leave the base whenever we needed to, and there were kids that they would throw rocks at us. Kids would throw rocks at our up armored vehicles. Well, because we're in their country, we didn't belong there in their eyes. Maybe, or maybe it was a game. I don't know. But I had one of my translator friends translate the word love on a sheet of paper in their language. And so when we went out the next time, I put that piece of paper on the window that said love. And after that, the kids were like this and smiled,
Oh,
and no more rock throwing. But they got it. We connected with just that word, like love, you know. So it's impactful. Gavin, I see your hand up.
Yeah. I
Thank
wanted.
you for that breakdown. That was beautiful. Thank you for dropping that. Sorry,
Uh,
Gavin.
yeah. I wanted to say that I wanted to kind of bounce off of you a little bit. There's two examples I can give, just from experience. One is when I came out. When I came out, my family was like the most supportive, loving group of people that you could ever have. And I really appreciate them because I was horrified. I was horrified to the bone. But when I told my family, they was like, "Yeah, we already know. We love you." And then the second thing is my I always call them my second family, and that's my youth council. Especially for my unit. They love the heck out of me. I love the heck out of them. I love working with them. And one thing that really binds us together, whenever we have a falling out fight, we fight like we actually related. It is crazy. But one thing that brought us together was the power of prayer. And every time we pray together, we just grow stronger as like not only as a unit, but as a family. And I feel like that's something, if you have that something in common, even just the power of prayer, the power of meditation, and the power of saying I love you to somebody goes a long way than you know.
That's our throat chakras sending out energy to each other.
And a
Absolutely.
family that prays together stays together.
that's what happened to my family then. We stopped praying.
Now, what if
We
you're atheist?
wanted to bring up love languages too today. Like
Yes.
what your language is, what makes you feel loved. And maybe we could start with Carlos and just kind of go down the Brady Bunch squares.
Yeah.
I guess
Name
my love language is serving. You know, I've always cooked and did everything. Especially cooked. But yeah, I guess my love language would be serving. So take it away, Gavin.
Oh, I'm going first. Okay. For me, wait, which type? Because I have different
What?
types.
That's
Name
okay.
whatever
Tell us
type
your
you want.
types.
Okay. So there's one of community love where I love my community. I give back to my community. And because if I don't do that kindness to somebody, I feel like who's going to do that kindness for me when I get older? Who's going to be there for me when I need something? So I believe if you pour something into something, goodness will come back to you. My other kind of love is when I love my family. Um, I love my family by just being around them, talking to them. Sometimes we talk about our roots, and that's what's really also really important is to know your roots and to talk about love and how love. Yes, I love you, bro. And love of friendship. Like you could be in a relationship with somebody, but if you don't have a solid foundation of a friendship of somewhat, then I don't know how else to describe it. Because if you have a friendship foundation before you get into a relationship with that person, that relationship will tend to me it lasts a lot longer and it's much more valued in that. And then there's love of just of yourself. And the way I love myself is I take time and just talk to myself in the mirror. If it's a monologue, if something that I wrote, sometimes I write my feelings and I say it to the mirror, telling myself how I'm feeling. I have conversations with my own self and my own spirit because if I don't do that, I have because you have to check on you. And that's really important. Always check in on yourself, especially before you check on another person, because you may not be able to handle that unless you talk to yourself. Make sure you're good before you take on the day. Sometimes take a time out, take a day off work, take a day off school, check in with yourself.
Mhm.
That's the ways I show love.
Mental health days are important.
Beautiful.
Mental love is important.
Hmm.
Mental and emotional love. My mom taught me um this. Love your before you love a person, make sure they love you for you and make sure they love you intellectually and emotionally before they love you physically. Because if they
Hmm.
love you physically, they're not really for you.
Mm-mm.
You have to you have to turn that person on by doing it emotionally and mentally. And when I mean turn on, I mean like engage with them
Right.
before you do that.
Mm.
And I'm gonna pass it on to Mary.
Judy, just real quick, post it in the private chat. Carlos is the only one that can put the link on there. Okay. So my love language, I love to be present. I love to be available to people. I love to be support. I love to volunteer. Um, and I love to hug people. I mean, I really feel that if they are huggers and it's okay with them, that you got to hug somebody until they let go because sometimes they really need it. And I think that that's my love language. And sometimes I might hold on a little longer because I need it. So I'll pass it to Leslie.
Miss Leslie, what are your love languages, Miss Leslie? We're talking love languages.
Oh. Thought her video was frozen.
Yeah. First one is my love language is taking care of my body, going to the doctor, taking care, checking on things, making because I know my body better than anything. I watch everything about my body, what goes in, but I also watch what comes out. And that gives me alerts. Bingo, you better go to the doctor. Bingo, that doesn't look right. So I take care of my body inside and I take care of my body outside. So I guess my love language is when I take a bath or a shower in the morning. It's like I'm blessing and anointing my body, getting dressed, putting on an armor of God, and just getting myself ready to go out every day and feeling good about myself. So that's my first one. My second one is caring for people. I don't care what it is, whether it's helping with school, helping to get a degree, helping to write a paper, helping to do this, helping to move, helping whatever it is, cooking and all that. That's my second is caring for people and especially people who can't care for themselves. And my third love language is writing. I love to write.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish up these other 2 books. I wrote one and got it published. So I just want to get back into my writing, because my writing exudes love, and everybody can see themselves in what I write. You can see yourself as one of those characters, and you can see almost like your life being played out, certain parts of your life right there as you're reading. But you can also heal from it, because it's written in a way of love, but it's psychological. It's got all that. So that's my love. But I love people. My love language is loving people no matter what. And Gavin, I want to say thank you for sharing. When you came out, I have to drop back real quick, because in 1965, 2 of my friends that I knew, she came over. She was older, just a little older than I was, and she came over, and she's Black, and she had her Caucasian friends. So I remember my mother and father told me, my sister, brother, coming and living. They introduced her friend to now married, and they love each other. So this is 1965, when coming out was no, and mixed, interracial. And so I just want to share that she sent me a text last night congratulating me on my newest appointment, telling me that she read everything. She wanted me to remember who I was, who I came from, what era we came from, and let me know that her and her wife love me and support me. They want me to come see them from 65 into 2024. So to me, when people say, what is love? That's love.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Franklin.
Next.
Hey, well, I try to steal Gavin's. I kind of like the 3, and I feel like the biggest one for me, I feel, is also community, because I know we all know, especially Carlos, as well, helping out when you can and doing things, good deeds, if you want to call it that, or contributing to the community. It makes you feel good, for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you, not only helping others. So I like to do that, and of course, being in the media, I like to try to get to where I can, and I feel like people appreciate if I could share their stories if I'm able. And so, in the moment of time, again, Palestine comes to my mind, that I feel like if I'm able to have like Palestinian voices on my channel, like the Carlos Taco Show, or Full Circle, where I actually get to play audio, or on the First Voice Media Facebook page where I post my videos, it makes me feel like I'm doing something, feeling kind of helpless here in this time, as our country contributes to genocide with weapons, ammunition, blocking, helping, providing, what's the other one? There's like weapons, ammunition, and money, all the funding that they can. So I feel like being able to be in community with folks I've never met that are like showing empathy for the same cause, and gathering and saying, no, not in our name. I feel like that has really helped me in this time when I feel helpless, watching some of the stuff that I'm watching, and I want to like be able to like show love to my community that I'm just meeting because of this. I think being able to share their stories, work for the ceasefire resolution in Antioch, anything I could do right now. This has kind of engulfed my life. I feel like we're at a critical moment in history, like people were with the Nazis. I really feel like that. And then I feel like our love needs to be out in front and like waving, like I'm over here, and I'm saying, no, I'm sharing my love in this way, that this is not in my name. And I feel like I need to be vocal about it as much as I can.
You're passionate.
Yeah. You got to express
You
that
are
love. I feel
passionate.
like for the moment, just so people try
Wake up.
maybe hear you. Yeah, maybe hear you. Maybe you might get one person, or I don't know. It's tough out there, and I feel like we are lucky to never know the horrors that are happening.
Yeah.
And I feel like being able to love folks that are empathizing with that, or may have family there, or lost family there, or that are really traumatized by it, and being able to just be present with them, empathize with them, I feel like is a way that I want to share love. And I'll leave it at that, because I can keep going on. And I wanted to join tonight specifically to raise the Palestinian cause again, and that we need to show love at this time, as our country is in a historic moment. And I feel like I said it before, and I feel like I'm going to have to paraphrase again. But the man that burned himself, Aaron Bushnell, in one of his last tweets, said it the best, and that is that people like to ask themselves what they might do during slavery, or during Jim Crow, or during apartheid, or what might you do if your country was committing genocide. And then he said the answer is, you're doing that right now. So I feel like I need to express my love in that way, to speak out, to be able to be love myself and say, I tried to do something, even though I feel helpless. I'm out and visible saying no.
Right.
And I'll leave it there, because I can go on, and I feel like if I get too emotional, and
After everybody has a turn, I got a question to ask you before we get off the air. Okay.
Okay, well, I'll go to Miss Patty, and then it looks like Judy. Thanks for joining us.
I think
After-
Judy's
after-
next.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Okay, my love languages. I'm going to say affirmations, like for my son. My motherhood to my son is a love language for me, and empowering him and uplifting him every day to have a good day, to you're smart, and you're gonna fly me to the moon one day. And then also putting the seed of knowledge. Knowledge is another love language of mine, like just knowledge and knowing, the love of learning, love of understanding, love of learning from each other, love of learning from our history.
Mhm.
Another love language, social justice is my love language, y'all. Like that gets me going. I'm in a state of depression. I went through some things, but social justice has absolutely been a big part of my healing journey, and finding love for my community in a new way. So those are my love languages. Miss Judy, if you would like to close it
Yeah,
out.
thank you. Thanks. For me, in my personal, like if I have a partner or with friends, it's like my ex-wife used to say, "Oh, I have a present for you," and I'd say, "Is it a quality time?" It's like make time for me, clear your schedule, and make me feel I'm important. And in terms of my community, I'm known as being a networker. I love that. Fixing up this, like if somebody says, "Oh, I'm starting a business in this," I go, "Oh, call so and so and so and so." Or I was at an event the other day, and a woman, she's an artist, but she wants to sell it. I said, "Oh," so I hooked her up with a couple galleries. I mean, I love being able to connect people, and also, yeah, doing service. I like to produce fundraisers for different groups that I feel connected to, and I'm also, it's community, like create community while you're raising money. It's like a dual benefit. So yeah.
Yeah, creating community is huge. That's a beautiful love language.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Beautiful. That was a lot.
that
Yeah,
is a lot.
This is a
Thank
great
you
show.
So I got a question for Frank.
Yes, let's hear it.
Okay, Frank, and I know I keep harassing you about this and I never get my answer. But are they going to do their education at the mosque or not? Did they reschedule it? I feel like every time they reschedule it, it's not happening.
What happened was they did do the rescheduling, and then they had one in Brentwood, and they actually we got locked out. I think Judy, you were at that one. We were the custodian didn't come and open the center, so we basically had to be out in the wind and cold and almost rain for half of the event. They did an online one the other day, so my bad for not spreading the word enough.
Okay, because I've been looking for it.
So I'll keep us posted. I think I'm just kind of getting lost sometimes. And
No, it's okay. I want to include my kids.
yeah, definitely.
I want my kids to know more global things, and my kids in general have a very diverse group, and I think it would be good for them to know firsthand what's going on in the world with relatives of their friends that they hang out with, so that they can show more empathy and compassion, and maybe become warriors.
And I think, Judy, you were going to say that there's the video somewhere
on your Facebook page. All the videos from that teaching are up on what's the name of the Facebook?
Yes, so I did post a lot of it on the First Voice Media Facebook page. Different videos, and some of the speakers and Judy, of course, spoke and had a great speech, and also an interview, and Dr. Omer Alam did an interview, and
Reverend
Michael Yoshi, who is a Methodist priest. Is he a Methodist priest? I'm not sure exactly, but he's a pretty famous guy, actually, Reverend Michael Yoshi, and he came out and also spoke. So they had an imam, a reverend, and a rabbi at the first one. The second one, I don't think the rabbi was able to make it, but it was still a great conversation. And yes, a lot of it is on the First Voice Media Facebook page. And to tell you the truth, I've been doing a lot on Palestine, and I interviewed Colonel Ann Wright, who's not a colonel anymore, but did 29 years in the Army and then retired as a colonel, some of that in the reserves, and then did 16 years as a U.S. diplomat in all over the world, and then helped reopen the embassy in Afghanistan. And she spoke about why she was against what's happening in Palestine. So that's 29 years in the military, 16 as a diplomat, speaking out against what's happening out there in Palestine. So yeah, if you head over to First Voice Media, you can check it out on Facebook. Go ahead, Judy.
This Saturday, I just posted the link in the private chat. There's a pilgrimage of ceasefire, interfaith. It's 22 miles, which is the length of Gaza, starting in the Berkeley Shell Mound at 7:00 in the morning and ending in Alameda at 7:00 at night. And there's a closing ceremony, and you don't have to walk part of it. There's different legs if you go to that website. Just ceasefire, pilgrimage, Gaza. It'll bring you to it. And even to bring your kids so just they can see it. Go by or walk a part of it.
Yeah, I think for kids, it's so important to actively be in the part of something.
Yeah.
Because I know that when I bring them out to feed the homeless people, they get a better understanding. I got another question for you guys, and I'm going to date myself. Back in the middle of the 90s, before, Patty and Gavin were born.
I was born in the 80s.
Oh, wow. There was a caravan of pastors that would go in buses that were called Pastors for Peace to Chiapas to bring medicine and food and things. Is anything like that happening in Gaza? Do you know? Are there people that are risking their lives to try to get the things through the borders?
I'll take it for a second, then Judy could add. I know in the past, right now is a very dangerous time. No one is really being allowed in. UNRWA was the major source of food and funding for supplies for Palestinians. And there was unfounded and uncredited allegations that members of UNRWA were Hamas. And the world basically cut off funding for UNRWA, which is the main source of food for Palestine and supplies. And people are literally dying every day of actual malnutrition and starvation, where they're totally sucked up to skin and bones right now. And I don't think anybody is able to do that at this time, but there are like certain governments. A government sent a ship there recently. There was the Freedom Flotilla, years ago that Ann Wright, the colonel I was just talking about, was a part of. Actually,
Mhm.
Israel intercepted 2 boats that were, taking humanitarian aid to Gaza. This is like 10, 15 years ago. They intercepted it and boarded one and actually killed people on it. A man
Yeah.
from Turkey and some other folks in international waters. So at this point, I think it's nobody can really do that right now. I feel like Judy might be able to correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I
But
think it's really Israel just is locked down the border.
Mm.
Gavin, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, I was just gonna share something on a more two things on a more positive note.
Mm.
Mhm.
One, our Instagram page reached 100 followers, and we're now at 117. So I put the link in the
Right.
chat. If you're not following our Instagram, follow us. Let's keep raising the number higher, and let's please like and comment and share our content.
Right.
The other positive thing I want to acknowledge, um, I want to say that, love in general is so powerful and so impactful that there needs to be more topics on love, and love should be
Mhm.
more of like a trend other than a lot of these hateful comments that we see. If we had more spaces where we could just talk about it and be about it, 'cause that's also part of the work of community
That's
is
right.
showing
Mhm.
Yeah.
and
We need more
everyone.
healing sessions like we did previously.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm
Yeah.
still feeling that one.
Mm.
That's
Love
I
will
think,
beautiful.
love
I
will
think,
conquer above all the hate.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
think
So
that,
we can
sorry,
announce who's going to be on our show next week because they all confirmed.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
dun,
we
dun.
have Safe Return Project. We have gosh, why can't I think right now? Tell me who we have. Safe Return
Backyard
Project.
Hangout.
What?
Backyard Hangout?
No, that's the
No?
week after.
Okay.
We have crap.
Is it Ace? Is it one of
Tune,
the
tune in
Ace.
next week.
Okay.
And Stand Up Contra Costa.
Ooh, okay.
I know
All
it's going to be
right.
such
I
a
know a
great show
little
because
bit about
And
them, but
yeah,
let's
because I'm so excited to actually get some. I mean, we do beautiful work anyways, but I love that we're going to be able to empower
Yes.
such
Yeah.
great organizations that really help empower other people.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's kind of going to be a full circle next week, and I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, so people know about the work and what's out there and how people can
Yeah,
help.
services.
Right.
Yes.
Another thing love is patient. And Miss Leslie had a question like a long time ago.
Oh.
I saw her finger up. Miss Leslie, do you have something you wanted to say?
Love is forgiving.
Yeah.
No, if I did, I forgot.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I think I put some comment in here
Okay.
that about our, we have to be careful. Even though we like want to love everybody, you have to be careful. We all have discernment. You feel it in your body. You feel it. There's certain people you can be in. You can go around and hi, can I help you? Or hi, and you'll get this feeling.
Yeah.
When you go ready to go to somebody, that's what your discernment is. So you need to be careful not to give your love to the Antichrist
Because there's
because
leeches
they use
out
that.
there, and leeches
They
will try to
collect your
bring
love.
you.
No, it ain't
Yeah, when I
collect your
think of
love
the
as
Antichrist,
power,
I always think of
and they grow
narcissism.
even more powerful. And yeah, they take your love and they use that, and it grows more power, and they use that power to even wreak more havoc. So we really need to use discernment about certain people. When we get that feeling, that's that third eye, that's that sacral chakra. That's you really will feel it down in there. That's because it's like it's bad. And I'm sure that all of us have had that feeling at one point in our life where it can't even like a fear. It's like jello, like your inside. It's like it's a worst feeling I've ever felt when I'm like, whoa. And I don't even know this person's name or anything, but you know, it was like, get back, get out the way, don't get close, because they can draw your energy. They can draw your good energy.
And you
just
could
need to
feel
know
it
this.
too. I could feel it. We did that. We went to coffee this
Yeah.
week, and I felt some guys' energy.
I ran into Miss Leslie today at a
Yeah,
little coffee
and-
shop. That was my energy,
Aw.
finding my love for my advocacy.
Well, got
Well,
some music
There's our
playing.
music.
A little overtime. Thank you to our guests for joining us and contributing, and to our folks
Okay,
listening.
bye.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
You.
Thank you, Judy, for jumping on. I appreciate it.
Nice to meet
Yeah, and if
everybody.
you go to our webpage, all those links you put in the chat, we're putting them all out there for people so that they can grab them as a resource.
Okay,
Right.
thanks a lot.
And
You're very welcome.
Bye.
I want to
Bye,
thank
bye-bye.
everybody for being on the show. Show some love and like and subscribe to this channel. And with that, next week is going to be another awesome show. Make sure you tune in Thursday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oh, wait, hold on. We got some more comments here. Thank you. Oh, Mary. Okay, good.
Sorry.
Again, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate and look, everybody put it up. Love you all for just being faithful and coming on every week and just showing that
Ooh, yours
love.
is fancy, Gavin.
I know it's all.
Did you see it? He's got
Yeah,
hearts that
yeah.
pop out of his heart.
You can feel it. That's what's up.
Grocery store historian and hearts. What?
Thanks
Yeah.
for tuning in, y'all. We'll see you next week. God bless you.
All right. Bye-bye.